Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now March 23rd of 2024, and given the Acolyte, or as I like to call it, the Hackolyte, has been receiving endless backlash from true Star Wars fans that really do favor George Lucas's vision of the franchise, we know already that Kathleen Kennedy and many of those associated with Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company have been heading into full damage control for this series after the trailer got ratioed beyond belief, beyond what fans would have ever expected at any given point in time. And right now we already have Leslye Headland, the showrunner and the director of this thing, also heading into damage control. It is a mess for Lucasfilm. It is a complete disaster for Bob Iger, and it's only the beginning. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you all so very much for the great and kind support. So one thing about the Acolyte that I think a lot of you need to know is Leslye Headland fully confirmed just 2 days ago that this series was completely modeled after The Last Jedi. It was truly inspired from Rian Johnson, the very director, the very writer that divided the entire fandom, or should I say, completely destroyed the fandom. You know, no longer do real Star Wars fans truly exist in my opinion here, and as far as I'm concerned. Ever since 2017's The Last Jedi, Star Wars never truly was the same. Now, when you look at things with Kathleen Kennedy and how she has been pretty much dealing with the ongoing drama surrounding Lucasfilm, surrounding the current status of Star Wars, especially after the Acolyte trailer dropped, and how much backlash it is receiving to this day, one thing that really truly is surprising has a lot to do with Kennedy's stance. Now, with all divisions at the Walt Disney Company showing no signs of improvement, one of the most failed divisions being Lucasfilm, recently just hit an all-time low with Kathleen Kennedy's stand against the fandom and the recent Acolyte backlash. Kennedy went on to deliver the following. When you were developing a story like this, that we wanted to set within its own world and detached from George's point of view on how Star Wars works, we knew going into this that loyal fans of Lucas's vision were going to have a difficult time accepting that. You always have to expect loud, opinionated fans that come from a small minority that try to ruin the experience for others. It's something that we witnessed with the sequels, and it's something that we expected to happen with our latest series, such as this. We here at Lucasfilm, and even Bob agrees, that it's irresponsible and offensive for this same loud group to convince others to think a certain way before a product even releases, and we ask everyone to keep entitled opinions that are biased to themselves, and to let the product speak for itself in the meantime, leading up to its release. Our focus was how can we improve diversity in this series that Leslye perfected so well, by the way. We worked very hard with her on this one, and even she was prepared for all the noise that was going to come in her direction. I think she was well trained for that. There comes a time when fans need to realize that the core characters and their time are for the most part over. We are looking to shift away from familiar faces connected to this franchise and how we can create new iconic roles with the Acolyte for starters that's set within a brand new era. Now, the loud biased takes need to be toned down and kept to themselves, I think, for all fans to truly enjoy a series or a film fairly that are not driven or convinced by others' biased takes on a story. Sometimes the silence is a necessity to make a story work, and many times it's best to trick the audience into watching what you want to present, because they may find themselves to enjoy what they are actually engaging in, as we are trying to normalize in a franchise as big as this. This is our first Star Wars series that was created by a woman from start to finish, and it's for women at the heart of it all. Leslye did the most amazing job I have ever seen in recent years. Once I heard her pitch on this story and how she wanted to make it a combination of Frozen, Kill Bill, and just Star Wars altogether, we knew we couldn't pass that up. It was a fresh take for our fans that deserved to be told to our audience. This is a story of sisterhood and how women can inspire others to get roles like this in the industry as well that can be very unfair. We found our work to be most effective when we made the decision and the ultimate call to exclude George from the set of The Acolyte, and we ran this up with George himself and told him about our plans with that, and he wasn't too thrilled about our approach with that strategy to create a new story, but it was a must for us as a team that wanted to shift away from what fans know all about Star Wars, especially from Lucas's point of view, growing up, and how we are trying to really mark Leslie as the new original creator of where Star Wars can truly go, to inspire a whole new generation of fans for new stories, merchandise, and most importantly, new faces to represent this ever-evolving galaxy. Now, guys, before I move on, let me just say one thing about this. Now, Leslie Headland was very clear that this series basically is favoring diversity, equality, equity, inclusion, all of that nonsense that really comes from a disingenuous place. You know, most of the time when it comes to Lucasfilm's track record, that's where it really comes from. It's never genuine, it's never coming from the heart like they say it is. It's all an agenda above storytelling and proper character development. This is exactly why I've said multiple times that Lucasfilm is in a worse state than the Marvel Cinematic Universe, than Marvel Studios. Alright, one of the other divisions over at Disney. And that has a lot to do with the fact that not only do they announce titles that either end up getting cancelled, or they fall into production limbo, or creative differences come about, or in this scenario, it gets wide, universal rejection, or negative backlash. And this is an ongoing cycle over at Lucasfilm. And you have people like Kathleen Kennedy hiring those, like Leslie Headland, the former personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, by the way, which is just totally, quote-unquote, irresponsible. Alright, that's what's irresponsible, is hiring somebody like Leslie Headland to take on a Star Wars show. You know where she came from, and yet you have Kathleen Kennedy saying it's irresponsible for other people to speak their opinion about what they think about a show. That just goes to tell you all there needs to be told about what this show is all about. Alright? So, Kathleen Kennedy has put it out there that this show is about sisterhood. This kind of lines up with the leaks that we talked about months and months ago, about how this is going to be basically a retelling of the twins from the Old Republic. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but there is a big story element of the twins in there from the Old Republic stories that are being cherry-picked to be reframed in the Acolyte series. That's why Leslie Headland said that she is taking the expanded universe and flipping it upside down, basically, and putting her own spin on it. So again, this is another example of how Kathleen Kennedy wants people to remain silenced, to not share their quote-unquote biased, entitled opinions or takes on things, and to just let the product speak for itself. You know, let the series just speak for itself. Well, I think it already has, because look how many fans are voicing their opinions beyond what we have ever seen before. This level of backlash, guys, by the way, is already worse than The Last Jedi, and this series hasn't yet to even drop on Disney Plus on June 4th. So overall, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this ongoing situation related to the Acolyte series below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.